Hello, good morning, my dear students of class 10. How are you all? I hope you all are fine there and waiting for your social study class, having necessary materials. This is me, Dinesh Karki, your social study teacher, and you are watching your own program, PABSON Tele-Education, on your favorite television channel, Janata Television. So, if you are ready, if you are excited to join the social class, then I would like to welcome you all in this live social class. My dear students, today we are going to start Unit 5, Lesson 1, Legislature. All right? So, before I begin the class, I would like to ask you one question. Do you know about the legislature? All right. So, let's begin. Let's discuss about the legislature. Boys and girls, first I'm going to share you a slide. Boys and girls, first of all, you should know what is a state. State is organized political community. The form of the state depends on the political ideology that it accepts. For example, you try to find out which political ideology our country has accepted, all right? So it depends on the political ideology the country has accepted it. Nepal is an independent, indivisible, sovereign, secular, inclusive, democratic, socialism-oriented, federal, democratic republic state, according to our constitution, boys and girls. So it clearly indicates that our country has accepted federalism, political ideology, federalism, our country has accepted. So I hope you understood the point. All right. So in the previous class also we had discussed, we had explored about the federal structure of Nepal. So you please look at the slide. According to the constitution of Nepal, our federal structure is, there is a federal government, all right, and you can find 7 provinces. Then after you'll find 77 districts, and then after 6 metropolis, 11 sub-metropolis, 276 municipalities, and then after 460 rural municipalities, right? My dear students, if you calculate, if you sum total metropolis and sub-metropolis, rural municipality and municipality, then you will find 753 local levels, okay? So this is the federal structure of Nepal. Boys and girls, let me show you one more slide. Boys and girls, state requires various organs to exercise the power over a particular territory. Rightly, for a while ago, we saw the federal structure of Nepal, all right? And there is a federal government in the center, then after 7 provinces, then after 753 local levels, all right? So to run these, all, organs, or these organs, we need certain, to exercise the power, we need certain organs, all right? So according to the federal structure of Nepal, there is a federal government in the center. It is known as central government, is, because it is in the central, in the Kathmandu. For example, right now there is a federal government in the Kathmandu led by Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli. It is called federal government as well as called central government because it is in Kathmandu. All right, boys and girls. So you see in the slide, you will find federal government, and there are 3 most important organs. One is legislature, judiciary, and executive, my dear students. And today, the same, we are going to talk about the legislature, and this is the today's class, okay? So, boys and girls, legislature, executive, and judiciary are the major state organs, all right? The Constitution of Nepal has made allocation of powers to these organs on the principle of separation of power. Boys and girls, on the principle of separation of power, these 3 organs, legislature, executive, and judiciary, they have their own power, all right? And the principle is separation of power, all right? These major organs of the state possesses powers that control each other so that no organs can become too powerful. It is called check and balance system. Boys and girls, our constitution has allowed power to the legislature and has allowed power to the executive, and certain power has allowed to the judiciary. These three organs actually have a certain power, and they actually check each other's. All right. So in the further class, in upcoming class, we'll talk about the check and balance among each other. All right. So today we just know that these organs have power, and they actually check each other to balance. All right. So let's go one step ahead, because our main topic is legislature. We'll more concentrate on the legislature. Okay. So I'm gonna share one more slide. That is today's main topic, legislature, the introduction of the federal legislature, boys and girls. Federal legislature is an organ of the state. We have already discussed. All right. So it is also known as federal parliament also. All right. It makes the laws required for the state. The state performs its activities on the basis of these laws. Boys and girls, the important key thing is we need to remember, actually, legislature actually is such a organ which makes the laws. According to these laws, state performs its activities. All right. So keep in mind, the major function of the legislature is to make the law. But later on, we'll talk about the functions of the legislature separately. But rightly, I have related these things. Its main function is to make the law, and according to these laws, the state performs its activities. My dear students, so according to the Constitution of Nepal 2015, Nepali name Nepalko Samvidhan 2072, actually there are two houses in the federal legislature. All right, how many houses, boys and girls? There are two houses in our federal legislature. Okay, so I'm gonna share you one more slide. Look at this. All right, Federal Parliament of Nepal. All right, Sanghiya Samsad Nepal. Look at down, boys and girls. Type bicameral. Why bicameral means? It means Nepal, Federal Parliament Nepal has two houses. All right, bicameral. Bi means two. Bicameral. It is Nepal. It is called Dvishadhanatmak. All right. So the type is bicameral. Houses, look at there on the slide, boys and girls. One is National Assembly. It is called Upper House as well. And another is House of Representatives. It is called Lower House. How many house? Two house. Okay. So that is why it is called bicameral. Boys and girls, in the SCE exam, question may come, what type of our federal parliament is? Like that of question may be asked. So you should know our federal parliament of Nepal is bicameral. Dvishadhanatmak. Got it? Because there is a National Assembly, one, and second is House of Representatives. There are two houses. That is why it is called bicameral. I hope you have understood, my dear students. Okay? So now everybody knows this is the meeting place for the federal legislature. All right? No doubt, most of you have seen this house. It is the meeting place for the federal legislature. Okay, so boys and girls, now the most important part of today's lesson, okay, the composition of House of Representatives. All right, so boys and girls, first of all, you should know Nepal is divided into 165 election constituencies based on geography and population. All right, boys and girls, how many election constituencies are there in Nepal? 165. 165 निर्वाचन क्षेत्रहरू छन् नेपालमा जनसङ्ख्या र भूगोलको आधारमा तय गरिएको. Dear students, understood how many? There are 165 election constituencies are there all over the Nepal. Okay, so again I'm going to show the slide. How many constituencies are there? 165. Boys and girls, and second important fact is, in the legislature, there are 275 members in the House of Representatives, especially boys and girls. In lower house, in the House of Representatives, there are 275 members. Keep in mind, how many election constituencies? 165 election constituencies are there. 165 निर्वाचन क्षेत्रहरू छन्. But there are 275 members in the House of Representatives. Rack your brain, boys and girls. Among them, among 275, 165 are elected through first past the post electoral system, with one being elected from each election constituencies. प्यारा प्यारा विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरू, जम्मा देशभरिमा 165 निर्वाचन क्षेत्रहरू छन्, जबकि हाम्रो हाउस अफ रिप्रेजेन्टेटिभ्समा चाहिँ कतिजना सदस्यहरू छन्? 275 जना छन्. भनेदेखि 165 निर्वाचन क्षेत्रबाट 165 जना नै प्रत्यक्ष निर्वाचन प्रणालीद्वारा चाहिँ यो हाउस अफ रिप्रेजेन्टेटिभ्समा चुनिन्छन्. एउटा निर्वाचन क्षेत्रबाट एकजना, सबै पार्टीले उम्मेदवारी दिएको हुन्छ र त्यसमध्येबाट एकजना चुनिन्छ र 165 निर्वाचन क्षेत्रबाट 165 जना मान्छेहरू चुनिन्छन्, मेम्बर्सहरू चुनिन्छन्. Once again, 165 election constituencies are there all over Nepal. Okay, clear? And second, very important thing is there are 275 members in the House of Representatives. Okay, out of 275, 165 are elected through first past the post electoral system, Pratyaksha Nirvachan Pranali. All right, it is short form, it is called FPTP, first past the post. Take one on letters and you can find one short form, that is FPTP electoral system, but with one being elected from one each election constituency. Clear? Now, out of 275, you got 165 from 165 election constituency through first past the post electoral system. Now, boys and girls, I'm going to show you another slide which will make you very clear. Okay? So, okay. Now, remaining 110 members are elected through proportional electoral system. It is called PR electoral system also, proportional representation electoral system. It is called in Nepali समानुपातिक निर्वाचन प्रणालीबाट जम्मा 110 जना मेम्बरहरू चाहिँ चुनिन्छन्. All right, boys and girls, before we discuss that 165 are elected through first past the post electoral system. All right, now 110 members are elected through PR electoral system, proportional electoral system. All right, so altogether 165 plus 110 is equal to 275. Again, I'm going to relate. How many members are there in House of Representatives? 275. Out of 275, 165 are elected through first past the post electoral system. All right, remaining 110 are elected through PR electoral system. This is how the composition is made of House of Representatives. 165 plus 110 is equal to 275. But boys and girls, people vote for the political parties considering whole country as a single election constituencies. Now point is, 165 election constituencies are there for first past the post, but how many constituency for the proportional representation electoral system? Only one constituency. Considering political whole country as a single constituency, it means people vote to their party. Okay, so whole country considering whole country as a single constituency means they vote there for their party. Okay, so you understood, I think. Okay, now boys and girls, now talking about the tenure, working period, right? So unless dissolved earlier, sometimes a House of Representatives may dissolve earlier, but taking this condition aside, the term of the House of Representatives is 5 years only, boys and girls. I hope you understood it. Okay, so I'm gonna share one more slide, boys and girls. Now we discussed that our federal legislature is bicameral. Okay, we discussed about the one house, that is a lower house. Now let's talk about the composition of National Assembly. All right, National Assembly is called Rashtriya Sabha in Nepali. Okay, So, boys and girls, there shall be 59 members in National Assembly. You know that because I hope you have gone through the text. There are 59 members in the National Assembly. All right. So, there is an electoral college in each province. Electoral college. All right. And who are there? Electoral college comprises members of Provincial Assembly. Keep in mind, members of Provincial Assembly. Okay. And then after chairperson and mayor of municipality and rural municipality respectively, and deputy mayor and vice chairperson of municipality and rural municipality respectively are in of the local bodies within the province. It means who will be in the electoral college? Chairperson and vice chairperson of rural municipality, mayor and deputy mayor of municipality, and the member of province, all right, will be there in the electoral college. Okay, so what do? Actually, they elect the members for the National Assembly. I'll show you one more slide and try to make you clear, boys and girls. Each provincial assembly member's vote has a weightage of 48, whereas each chairperson, mayor, or vice chairperson, deputy mayor's vote has a weightage of 18. Boys and girls, I just want to ask one more question. The position of the provincial member and the position of mayor and deputy mayor, chairperson and vice chairperson is totally different, of course. Okay, so the weightage of vote also has a different. Okay, so provincial member's vote has a weightage of 48. If one provincial member casts the vote, then his vote is counted as a 48. Okay, but whereas if the chairperson and vice chairperson or mayor or deputy mayor, if one of them casts the vote for the member of National Assembly, all right, then their votes is counted as 18. All right, so this is how, you know, their vote is, the vote is counted. Okay, so boys and girls, now most important thing, there are 7 provinces, boys and girls, and keep in mind, from one province 8 members are elected. All right, so there are 7 provinces. From each province 8 members will be elected. So definitely 8 sevens are 56. It means 56 members are elected from whole 7 provinces. Okay, so boys and girls, but 8 members from each province, including 3. It means if 8 members are there from one province, then at least 3 women must be. Got point? It means 8 members are elected from one province through electoral college, and these people, you know, will vote whatever we discussed earlier. Okay, provincial member, member of Provincial Assembly, and mayor, deputy mayor, vice chairperson, and vice chairperson. These people will cast the vote and elect 8 members from one province. Out of 8, 3 must be women. Keep in mind, 3 must be women, and 1 Dalit. Okay, and 1 person with disability or minority. You know, these people are elected. Boys and girls, you should be very much careful to the composition. 8 members from one province, 3 must be women, and 1 Dalit, and 1 person with a disability. If not there, then, you know, 1 person from the minority must be there. Okay, this is how 8 members are elected from one province. Okay, so I'm going to share one more slide so that you will, you know, it will be clear to you. So 7 province, 1 province is equal to 8. How many? 56 members, you know, will be elected from one province. Now remaining 3, because we know that there are 59 members in the National Assembly. So 56 are elected from whole 7 provinces through electoral college. Okay, then now other 3 members, including a woman, are to be nominated by the president on the recommendation of the government of Nepal, of the Council of Ministers. Boys and girls, 56 are elected. So 3 people, you know, including a woman, are to be nominated by the president on the recommendation of the government of Nepal. Okay, so this is how, boys and girls, the National Assembly is composed. All right. Boys and girls, now one more important thing is that each elector, gets 4 ballot papers, one for 3 open seats. Keep in mind, there are total 8. Okay, so they get 4 ballots, one for 3 open seats, one for 3 female seats, means women's seat 2, and one for the Dalit, and one for the disabled or minority. So 4 ballot papers they will get. So accordingly, they will elect the members of National Assembly. Boys and girls, keep in mind, the 3 open seats and 3 female seats are filled up by the single transferable vote STV electoral system. Keep in mind, single transferable vote electoral system, all right? And the 2 other seats are filled up by FPTP. Boys and girls, this video will be uploaded to YouTube later on. So visit the YouTube, right? You can type the address PABSON Dursiksha, and then after you click, then many more videos will be, highlighted, all right? You will find many more videos, and you can watch this video very carefully, and you will find these notes also, so that right now maybe you are not able to copy all. Okay, so there you can pause and you can copy, you can listen, you can repeat, and you try to get the crux. All right, so right now I'm going, because time is running, so I'm going quite faster. Okay, but I hope you understood it, boys and girls. I hope you understood it. So boys and girls, now talk about the working period. The tenure of the members of National Assembly shall be of 6 years. Means the working period for the National Assembly is 6 years. But the term of 1/3 of members shall end in every 2 years. All right? Keep in mind, the 1/3 of the members of National Assembly, their term will be expired within 2 years, after 2 years. Okay? So there will be again election. All right, got my point. So boys and girls, now who will conduct the election? Definitely there is an election commission. So the election commission conducts the election for the National Assembly. Hope you understood, boys and girls. If you have some confusion, again, you can visit the videos, and you can watch it, and you can discuss with your teachers, and you will get the crux. All right, so boys and girls, now let's talk about the qualifications for the members of federal parliament. Suppose if you want to be the member of parliament, then what kind of qualification you must have? All right, so let's talk about the qualifications. First of all, one must be Nepalese. One must be a Nepali citizen, definitely. All right. Second qualification is one has to cross 25 years for the House of Representatives. Suppose if one is above 25 years, all right, then he or she can be the member of House of Representatives. But in case of National Assembly, one has to cross 35 years. All right, keep in mind, this is very, very important fact. If you want to be the member of House of Representatives, then you must be above 25 years. But if you want to be the member of National Assembly, then you must cross 35 years. Clear, boys and girls? This is second qualification. Now, next qualification, very important it is, not having been convicted of criminal offense involving moral turpitude. It means, you should not be found guilty by the law, and you should not be convicted by the law. Okay? So this kind of qualification you must have to be the member of federal parliament. Okay? So next one is, not being disqualified by any federal law. Yes, we have federal laws. If federal laws disqualify you, then you will not be qualified for the members of parliament, for the members for the federal parliament. All right. So you should be matched with the federal law. Means federal law must accept you as a candidate. Okay. Then only. Otherwise, you will not be. You will be automatically disqualified. Now, last most important is, if you want to be the member of House of Representatives or National Assembly, then you should not hold any kind of office of profit. You cannot run one profit organization side by side. You cannot be the member of the House of Representatives or member of federal parliament. Got it? So these are the qualifications, boys and girls, you must know. All right? So let's go ahead. Now let's talk about the Provincial Assembly. Boys and girls, we have already discussed that, our Federal legislature is bicameral because there are two houses. But our provincial legislature is unicameral. Article 175 of Part 14 of the Constitution deals with the provincial legislature, boys and girls. It's called Pradesh Sabha. The Provincial Assembly is unicameral, all right? As there is only one house. If you check, then you will find only one house in the province. That's why it is called unicameral. So boys and girls in the SE, because from there long question will be asked, sometimes question will be asked, write down any 4 similarities and 4 differences. Then yes, God note the point. You know, our federal parliament is bicameral because there are 2 houses. And here, provincial legislature has only one house, it is unicameral. So this is one of the distinction. This is one of the differences. You note down it, okay? So later on when you are going to solve this question, differences, similarities between federal and provincial, then this point will work, okay? So because the studio's clock is indicating that time is running out, so let me quickly finish this point. Every province in Nepal has a provincial legislature to formulate necessary laws for the province, okay? Boys and girls, very important thing is 60% of the members of the Provincial Assembly are elected through FPTP, first past the post electoral system, and 40% members through proportional electoral system. Last slide, boys and girls. The total number of the members from the Provincial Assemblies is 550. All over Nepal, all provinces, total member of Provincial Assemblies 550, out of which where 330 members are elected through FPTP, means 60%, and 220 members are elected through PR electoral system, proportional representation electoral system. Now talk about the term. Unless dissolved earlier, the term of the Provincial Assembly is 5 years. Boys and girls, now I'm going to give you homework quickly. What is the legislature? Describe the composition process of federal legislature and write down the qualification to be the members of the federal parliament. This is all about today, boys and girls. So I'm going to wrap the class. Stay safe, stay happy, and follow the guidelines of lockdown. See you next time. Till then, goodbye. Have a wonderful moment.